G'day everyone, Rachel from Bookpiles. Welcome to another video. I feel like I'm on a lean. If it looks like I'm on a lean, just adjust yourself. I have fiddled and fiddled. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I've just had bloods done, so maybe I'm just woozy. Not a good recipe for a video, possibly. Anyway, I thought I would do a fun tag video because I'm quite vocal about talking about what I won't read, not necessarily on BookTube, but certainly amongst all my friends and things like that. So I thought I would have a go at the Anti TBR, the books I will never read. This is a tag that was devised by Nicole and her books. I have it all written down here. Actually, if I put it there, I'm not going to look down quite so badly. Not the camera. Yes, so Nicole and her books devised the tag, and I will link to her original video in the description below. Loads of people have done it. You just need to put Anti TBR in the search engine of YouTube and you'll find loads to look at. It's quite fun to see what people will and won't read. So there are 8 questions. I have no physical books to hold up. I do actually have physical books for one answer, but they are in a box in the garage, which speaks volumes. So I will be inserting pictures. I will do my best to leave a decent pause to insert a picture and then carry on. So let's go through. This won't take too long. I don't think I will waffle too much. I've just realised I didn't write down the author of the first book. Yeah. It'll be in the picture. Okay, so the first question on the Anti TBR tag is a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. So I went to a couple of my favourite YouTubers and watched a recent video of theirs to see what books that they had, and I settled on a book called We Were the Lucky Ones. I don't remember the author, I didn't write it down. I have seen a lot of people show it. Once I saw it in the first video, I remembered it. It's in a lot of TBRs, especially for people who are participating in historical fiction readathons of some sort. It's set in World War II, obviously historical fiction, and the reason that I've got no interest is it's set in World War II. It's not historical enough for me. I don't know why, but I'm just not interested in books in World War II. Okay, the second book is a classic book or author you don't have any interest in reading. So this one probably could be pretty much all of the classics at this point in time. I think the only classics really that I'm interested in reading at some point are the Jane Austens. I have read some at school, but I settled on Anna Karenina for now for this answer. And primarily I think because it's set in Russia, and it's not a subject area that I'm that interested in reading about. I don't know how bogged down and heavy it is to read, given that it is a classic and therefore it probably is at points, and I actually don't even know how thick it is, which probably would put a check mark against it as well. So anyway, that's what I chose for question 2. Question 3 is an author whose books you have no interest in reading. So I picked a couple. The first one that came to mind before I even did any sort of research for this tag was Stephen King. I'm not interested in horror at all. I'll talk about that a bit further down in another question. The other one that I saw that actually cropped up again in a favourite booktuber's video was Leigh Bardugo. Is that right? Writes fantasy books. I see those mentioned a lot as well, or that author mentioned a lot, and yeah, that's not going to happen either. is that also YA? Someone can tell me, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because I won't be reading them unless I have some major U-turn in what I read. But anyway, question number 4, an author you have read a couple of books from and decided their books are not for you. So I'm twisting this just a teeny little bit. I actually have a physical book. I don't think it's here. I think it's also in a box in the garage. So my answer for this is Jodi Picoult. I read A Spark of Light 2 years ago, maybe, I'm not sure. And while I had no trouble with the story and the subject of the story and all of that, I hated the way the book was written. It was written in reverse timeline. And it was an absolute slog to finish. I just did not enjoy it at all. So it kind of put me off, but that is a new Jodi Picoult, so I'm giving her another chance. I can't quite remember what that book is about. I can't even remember what it's called. Allow me to swivel somewhat. The Book of Two Ways. Okay, so I think this is a little bit what is that film called, set in London with Gwyneth Paltrow and John Hannah, is it? And you know, like split seconds, how your life could change in a split second. So what happens if your life carries on that way or it changes to that way? I think that's kind of what that book is about. So that intrigued me, and when I read the back of that, I stood in the store and read lots and lots of pages of the book, well, several, to make sure that we weren't in any sort of weird writing. I just want to read a book. I want to be enjoyed. I want to read a book. I don't want my brain taxed. So I'm going to give her another chance. So I'm slightly altering question number 4. Question number 5 is a genre you have no interest in, or a genre you have tried to get into and couldn't. I haven't tried to get into the things that I'm not interested in because I'm not interested in them. So sit down with a cup of tea for this one. Horror, sci-fi, fantasy, World War II fiction, graphic-y novels. I don't know. I have got one, you can't really tell, it's The Black Line Under This Blue Spine. I did buy one a couple of years ago, but I haven't read it. It's Jane Eyre? Yeah, it's Jane Eyre. I still haven't looked at it yet. I should challenge myself and do it, really. Yeah, fantasy is interesting to me because I'm a bit of a hypocrite, I think. The whole it's not a real world thing is like, yeah, I can't be bothered with that. But I love Disney movies, and half of that is a load of... So, I don't know. I obviously only like children's stuff. I don't want to be scared shitless when I'm reading. I want to just enjoy my books and be carried away and swept up and just enjoy it. So, yeah, anything that's going to freak me out, I'm not interested in. I have added thrillers to this list, but I'm intrigued. I really want to find something... Thriller probably is not the right category, but I've talked about this before, and I'm not going to sidetrack, so we're going to stop there. Full stop. Yeah. Okay, a book you brought but will never read. So this is where I could have actually held up something for show and tell. Just thinking, yeah. I've got 2 here probably that are not ever going to get read. One is The Luminaries, which is a New Zealand author, Eleanor Cantor. We'll find out in the picture on the screen. And she is, yeah, I think I just said it's a New Zealand book. Bloods. Haven't got enough blood in my body. And I think it won the Booker Prize, did it? Something, it won a prize anyway. And I found it in a charity shop here and I brought it. then they made it into a TV series, which is screened in New Zealand. I don't know if it's screened elsewhere in the world yet. And obviously I saw the shorts for that, and I'm like, oh, I don't know that this is my cup of tea after all. So I probably won't read. It's quite a thick book. I probably won't read it. If you watch Sarah's nightstand, I don't know if it's actually still in her backdrop, but it is was on her shelves behind her. It's the moons down the spine that slowly decrease in size for a less intelligent way of describing it. Yeah, and the other books I've got the series called, I think they're called the Earth Children series, Jean M.L. or Jean M.L., something like that, prehistoric. I tried to start the first one once and read about 5 pages and was like, oh, I don't know. People tell me it's great. I have got the whole series, which I think is 5 or 6 books, again all picked up over time at charity shops. So that series, it's more of an 80% probably not going to read, but 20% curious. So I'm not going to get rid of them. But Luminaries, probably the next time I go through those boxes, it'll probably get put in the take to the book swap place. Okay, question number 7. A series you have no interest in reading, or a series you have started and have DNF'd. Well, I have not started it because I have no interest in it, and that's Harry Potter. Just not into Harry Potter at all. It's the whole fantasy, otherworld, magical doodary. Yeah, no, don't like it. So not interested in Harry Potter, which is brilliant because at some point my plan is to go to America and the parks, Disney mainly, but I will go to Universal and I can just walk through Harry Potter World to say I've been there, but I don't have to stress about queuing for any of the rides. And question 8 is a new release you have no interest in reading. So for the answer to this, I went to Amazon last night and I plugged in new releases, last 30 days, historical romance. That was my category, and I picked the #1 book on the list because I have no interest in reading that. And it is called The Girls in the Attic, and it is a World War II based book. And it is apparently a German soldier is wounded and goes home to recuperate, only to find that his mother is hiding 2 Jewish girls in the attic, and so it's all the angst and conflict, you know, around. He feels obliged that he should dob them in, but I'm guessing, given that it's historical romance, something's going to happen. But yeah, no, I won't be buying it. So that is my take. Feel free to comment on any of my choices. You probably won't convince me. Yeah, is there anything that you definitely know you won't ever read? Share them below in the comments. Have a go if you've got a channel. Have a go at the tag yourself. Alright, I will catch you again in another video. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.